Alrighty, welcome back artistic ladies and gentlemen to another Fun Fridays episode in this Pokemon TCG Online series where we take a look at fun and silly deck ideas. And today I bring you a Weezing mill deck. We are going to try to deck out my opponent today with this Weezing with a balloon bomb attack. For a DCE we flip 2 coins. For each heads discard 2 cards from the top of your opponent's deck. So we could flip 2 tails here and do nothing. That is a possibility. It will happen 1 in 4 times of using this balloon bomb, because there's a 25% chance that we flip 2 tails, but in the other cases we will discard 2 cards at least, and maybe even 4 cards if we can flip 2 heads. Interesting to note here is that Weezing has a second attack as well. Thick Liquid hits for 80 damage for a DCE and a Psychic, and then both active Pokemon are confused and poisoned. Now that is actually really interesting because most mill Pokemon don't really have a very good secondary attack, but this Weezing does. So this Weezing can actually hit for a 2-hit KO on EX Pokemon if we are in a position to do that, if we have a Psychic and a DC attached, and we can do that. We have 4 Psychic Energy and 4 DCE in this deck, so that is what makes this Weezing mill deck interesting. It can not only deck out your opponent, but it can actually also take some prizes and possibly take a win simply by knocking out our opponent's Pokemon. We are playing a 4-4 line of Koffing and Weezing. Koffing has got the division attack for a Psychic Energy. Search your deck for up to 2 Koffing and put them onto your bench. Shuffle your deck afterwards. Very useful attack at the start of the game to get out all your Koffings on your bench. We are also playing 2 Bunnelbys to help our Weezing with decking out our opponent. Bunnelby, well known by most of you I think, has the Burrow attack. Discard the top card of your opponent's deck, which we will use, and sometimes we will also use the Rototiller. Shuffle a card from your discard pile into your deck, for example, to get back one of our DCEs, possibly if we have discarded our special charge at the start of the game or something. So we have the Bunnelby, and then we have a 2-2 line of Remoraid and Octillery. Octillery with the Abyssal Hand. Once during your turn before you attack, you may draw cards until you have 5 cards in your hand. This is gonna be our draw support in addition to our Sycamores. 2 Sycamore, 4 N, and then 1 Lone Judge. No Shamans in his deck, 0 Shamans. That means this is a budget deck. Why is that though? Why are we not playing any Shamans, you might think? Well, the reason is because we want to force our opponent to knock out 6 of our Pokemon if he wants to take the game. And that also means that he's going to take quite some time before he knocks out 6 Pokemon, which gives us a lot of time to try and deck out my opponent. If we were to play Shamans, my opponent could Lysandre our Shaman, take 2 prizes, and then he only needs to knock out 4 more Pokemon, which allows him to take the game a little bit quicker, and we need to avoid that because we need time to deck out my opponents. So we are then also playing these supporters. We are having a reverse count of N and Sycamore. Normally you see 2 N and 4 Sycamore. We are playing the reverse because we want to preserve our resources. So we are playing 4 N and 2 Sycamore, and then 1 Judge. Judge, very interesting to play at the start of the game to reduce your opponent's hand down to 4 cards, possibly give him a very bad hand. That's always nice if Judge can do that for you. Then we have 4 Sycamores, or not 4 Sycamores, 4 VS Seekers to get back things like our Sycamore from the discard pile and our other supporters. We are also playing some other supporters. We are playing 2 Lysandres to hopefully get something stuck in the active spot, like a Hoopa for example, and then when my opponent decides to attach energies to the bench, we can try to hammer those energies away with our Crushing Hammers. 4 Crushing Hammers or our Enhanced Hammer for special energies, 1 Enhanced Hammer. So it's always nice to get something stuck in the active spot with Lysandre and then hammer away while you try to deck out your opponent with the Balloon Bomb attack. Then we also play 1 Hex Maniac to get rid of our opponent's abilities, possibly at the start of the game to slow him down in setting up, but also against decks like Greninja Break, very needed to hopefully stall long enough and hopefully keep our Pokemon alive long enough to deck out my opponent. Then 1 Delinquent, one of the best disruption supporter cards in my opinion. Delinquent away my opponent's stadium, and then if he only has 3 cards in hand, we Delinquent away his cards as well. This is also a supporter that helps us to deck out our opponents, so very nice addition to this deck. We also have 2 Team Rocket's Handiwork, one of the core supporters for this deck. Flip 2 coins for each head, discard 2 cards from the top of your opponent's deck. Much like the Balloon Bomb attack from our Weezing, we are going to use our Team Rocket's Handiwork if we don't need to draw, and then hopefully discard some more cards from our opponent's deck. And finally, I forgot to say, we have one more draw supporter. Actually, it is the Ace Trainer. You can play this card only if you have more prize cards left than your opponent. Each player shuffles his or her hand into his or her deck, then draws 6 cards. Your opponent draws 3 cards. This is going to be very, very clutch when we are behind in the prizes. And since we are a mill deck, we are going to be behind in the prizes very, very frequently. So if my opponent has taken more prizes than us, we can Ace Trainer, draw 6 for ourselves, and bring my opponent's hand down to 3 cards. This is very powerful at the start of the game, can get your opponent stuck with a very bad hand. Then let's have a look at the item cards. I already discussed via Seekers. Then we have some Pokemon search cards to get out our Pokemon. We are having a very high count here. We are playing 4 level balls and 4 ultra balls to make sure we can get out our Koffings and our Weezings when we need to. And mainly at the start of the game here with our level balls for our Koffings. Then later on with our ultra balls for the Weezings when we need to evolve. Then we have 1 Super Round to shuffle back our Koffings or our Weezings when they got knocked out. And we have 1 special charge to shuffle back our DCEs in our deck. We also have some float stones to possibly retreat our Octillery if our Octillery got Lysandre out. And we have the Stadium of Choice, Silent Lab, 3 copies of Silent Lab. This is simply here to slow down our opponent in setting up. If he play down Silent Lab, my opponent cannot use the setup ability from the Shaman, and he cannot use any other abilities like the ability from the Hoopa. So a very powerful disruption stadium, and I think any mill deck like Weezing, like Houndour Mill, like Bunnelby Mill needs as much disruption as it can get. So we are playing the Silent Lab because of that. And that is basically it for this deck analysis. We are going to find ourselves some opponents in a versus ladder and hopefully deck them out real good. Most of the time you get very interesting and very close matches with mill decks, so I hope I can find some matches like that. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoy the upcoming battles. It is always much appreciated, and I'll see you in the battles in a moment. This is Leon challenges us to battle with a Darkness and a Psychic deck, and no Shaman, darn it, no Shaman. Why must we face a deck which does not play Shaman? Because that is typically a bit of a slower deck. We want to see fast decks here. We will go first for sure. Alright, set up our Koffings, if we can find our Koffings. We cannot. Oh, bummer. Now my opponent will know we are playing a mill deck. We are giving it away right here, right now. He can take a look at our hand, see we are playing Hammers, Weezing, Delinquents, lots of disruption. That's a bummer. And wow, that was a really bad hand. Let's forget about that hand as soon as possible. Can we get a little bit of a better hand? And alright, I quite like this hand. We have a Silent Lab, but my opponent does not play Shaman, so it is kind of useless. We have a Hammer. I'll probably get out my Remoraid with this level ball. And it is Mewtwo. Alrighty. So let's grab a Remoraid here. And then I might just go for an N. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's just actually play down our Silent Lab. Do I go for an N or not? The question is, I kind of want to evolve into my Octillery in the next turn, but I also kind of want to find the DCE here on energy for my Koffing. But we have these hammers, so I think I'll just sit on my hands. I will evolve into my Octillery next turn, use my Enhanced Hammer, use my Crushing Hammer if needed. And then we will go for the end. Look for an energy, look for Weezing. A Trainer's Mail from our opponents. That is just the basic Psychic energy, so we will have to use our Crushing Hammer here, not our Enhanced Hammer. Because we cannot use that Enhanced Hammer to discard non-special energies or basic energies like that Psychic one. Although it is a fancy one, it is definitely, oh well, it's just a black and white one, the basic one, so very old energy there. A Spirit Link, an Ultra Ball, we could see a Hoopa, but then my opponents will not be able to use that because we have played down our Silent Lab. So let's hope he plays down his Hoopa here and mistakenly thinks he can use it. Yes, there's the Hoopa, or maybe he's got a Counter Stadium in hand. And he plays it down, yes, oh my goodness, amazing. He's probably wondering now, what the heck, why can I not use my Hoopa? And then he's looking at the stadium, he's going like, oh, facepalm, Shadow Shot, oh. I forgot, our Koffing is going to go down from the Shadow Shots. That's a bummer. Well, no Koffing for us anymore. Let's see another Silent Lab. We will hammer away here. That was a bummer. I was so happy to see that Hoopa, and then now our Koffing got knocked out. So we went from ecstatic to sad there. Tails. Oh, now I'm even more sad. We will keep the Silent Lab and the Enhanced Hammer here. Another Crushing Hammer, fantastic, and Ultra Ball. I will have to Ultra Ball some things away here, it seems. And there's the discard, alright. We will Ultra Ball away our Silent Lab and our Team Rocket's handiwork. We need to keep the DCE here for sure. Can we find ourselves a Koffing? Yes, we can. And then we will Octillery or Abyssal Hand for a couple more cards here. Let's attach our DCE. My opponent still has 41 cards in deck. This is not how we want to see it here. We want to see my opponent speed through his deck, but he's doing exactly the opposite. Level ball. Alright, let's get ourselves... Do we have another Remoraid? We do not. So let's grab ourselves another Koffing then. I might just Delinquent in the next turn. Might not. We'll have to wait and see what my opponent does. We could Team Rocket's handiwork as well, but we need to find Weezing actually. There's Hoopa, alright. Does he have a DCE here? If he attaches a DCE, he will not knock us out, but we will Enhanced Hammer the DCE away. There's an N, alright, don't mind the N so much. We might find ourselves a Weezing here and a Floatstone for our Octillery. Come on, Floatstone! Team Rocket's handiwork, Octillery, Mega Turbo, oh boy. Counter Stadium. And a Shatter Shot again for 30. Alright, that's okay. That's basic energy though, that basic energy. We will Ultra Ball away the Octillery and the Sycamore. I think we are grabbing ourselves our Weezing here. Then will we attach? We could attempt a knockout on the Mega Mewtwo. We could hit for 80 and then actually I will try to do that here if we can find a Floatstone. I will put this on my Weezing. Then we could Delinquent. No, we are Delinquent, got shuffled back into our deck. That's a bummer. A Delinquent right here would have been amazing. Big question. Do I Team Rocket's handiwork or not? Or do I find my Floatstone from the end maybe? I'll go for the Team Rocket's handiwork here. It is Tails and a Tails, never mind, really regret that now. Abyssal Hands for 3 cards, boo, Team Rocket's handiwork. That was a sucky Team Rocket's handiwork. Alright, level ball, fantastic. Let's level ball for a Bunnelby this time around. If we can actually Ace Trainer in the next turn, we'll counter the Stadium again here with our Silent Lab, so my opponent cannot copy the attack from the basic Mewtwo, and let's hope our Octillery stays alive, otherwise we have left ourselves without any more draw support. Then we need to find our Super Rod, shuffle back that Octillery. There's a Mewtwo Spirit Link, please no energy. Yes, Seeker for an N, alright, could find an energy right here. At least he's using some cards because he's got 33 cards left in deck. We have only 24 left in deck. There's a Weezing, an energy, and then what? And then what indeed? Probably Ace Trainer, to be honest. Maybe my opponent misses out on an energy right here. There's a DCE, never mind. Does not miss out on the energy. So bye bye Octillery. You were useful for a short while, but down you go. We really need to get going here. We are nowhere near decking out my opponent because he's playing so slow. So freaking slow. So I'm going to go on the offensive here. I'm not going to go for the deck out anymore. Or not at this point at the very least. Maybe my opponent will hit himself in confusion, that is what I'm after here. Let's put an energy on our Weezing. Then do we Ultra Ball? We will not Ultra Ball, we will simply Ace Trainer, shuffle some cards back into my opponent's deck, give ourselves 6 cards. Floatstone, we needed that last turn, that's a bummer. Well, at the very least we can hit for the thick liquid here for a crap ton of damage. Weakness, we get confused and poisoned. My opponent gets poisoned and confused, so now he needs to retreat if he wants to attack. Our Weezing will go down at some point, that's okay. We can actually maybe Floatstone it and retreat it into our other Weezing. There's DCE, so will we see the retreat? I think we might see the retreat here. He's looking for another Mega Mewtwo. There's a Sycamore, finally we see a Sycamore. Alright, please miss out on another Mega Mewtwo. There's a Mewtwo. Transmail could find Ultra Ball for Mega Mewtwo. There's Shrine of Memories is going to counter our Stadium. Alright, that's fine. No Ultra Ball as of yet. And he hits himself in confusion. Amazing! Down goes the Mega Mewtwo back into my opponent. Or no, into our turn. The Mega Mewtwo goes down. Our Weezing took him out. Wow! And there's a victory! Oh my goodness! What? That was insane! We took the game with our Weezing. We destroyed Mega Mewtwo. I'm so happy. Wow. That is just fantastic. It was a short game, but it was a fantastic game. Alright, let's take a look at the stats. 160 damage dealt, 220 from opponents. 3 tails flipped. There is the bad luck right there. My opponent flipped tails as well. He had bad luck as well. Weezing freaking MVP here versus Mega Mewtwo X. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Leave a like if you enjoyed that battle. That was insane. Let's find ourselves another opponent. Soldier King 6885 challenges us to a battle with a Darkness, Psychic, Dragon, and colorless deck. It is Darkrai, Giratina, and you got it right, Gardevoir. Or maybe just Hoopa, maybe no Gardevoir. Sometimes they opt not to play Gardevoir and instead play Hydreigon and stuff like that. So on to our opponent's turn. My opponent is going to go first. We start off with our Remoraid. And 3 ends in our starting hand. My goodness, we might, we could Lysandre, although I think I just might want to set up here. Lysandre is not really the best play at the moment, I think. Unless my opponent attaches all his float stones in his first turn to some Pokemon and then leaves one Pokemon without a float stone, then it could be nice to Lysandre. Or maybe just generally to Lysandre out at Giratina, because Giratina does have a pretty hefty retreat cost, unless the Max Elixir hits here, and the Max Elixir does hit. My opponent could actually power up this Giratina in his first turn if he finds another Max Elixir and a double Dragon Energy. There's a Baby Yveltal, discards Enhanced Hammer, that's good. That is one less Enhanced Hammer to discard our energies. There's another Max Elixir, hits as well, and a Sycamore, look at that. At least he's off to a speedy start here. But those energies, they worry me. We need to find our hammers here for sure. Maybe my opponent cannot find a Fighting Fury Belt, and then our Weezing will stay alive because we have 110 HP. Never mind, there's a Fighting Fury Belt, but it's on the Darkrai and on the Giratina as well. So now my opponent can one-shot us with the Chaos Wheel. There's a Hoopa, going to thin out his deck a little bit more. There's a Shaman for 2 more cards, I think. Fantastic stuff. He does not know we are playing a mill deck, so he's being a little bit reckless here because he is not aware. An energy on a Darkrai. Look at that, 3 energies in play in his first turn. Look at that indeed. We need to end. We need to find ourselves some basic Pokemon because my opponent could retreat in the next turn with a Float Stone if he Lysandre. Weezing, Hammers. Hammers is what we kind of need, but we needed a basic here. So let's hammer away an energy to the Darkrai if we can. Come on. And yes, alright, at least we can hammer away the energy. That should buy us a turn here. Just one turn though, so let's end our turn. In the next turn we'll evolve into our Octillery. Try to find at least a Koffing here. Please do not retreat your Darkrai and attack us with your Giratina. There's a double Dragon Energy. All he needs is an escape rope here. And the switch. There's the switch. We got destroyed here. But we were off to a really bad start. No kidding here. That was a really bad start for us. So let's find ourselves another opponent. Rhythmix challenges to battle with a Fire, Water, Fairy, and Darkness deck. Could be Xerneas, Rainbow Force. We do see the Xerneas coins. So I think it is very likely that it is Xerneas Rainbow Force. A very speedy deck normally. So let's hope that we can do something here, unlike the Darkrai Giratina Gardevoir matchup, because that was not a very good one. Well, it could be, but we were just very bad, or we had very bad draws. We do start off with a mulligan, otherwise it wasn't the worst hands. There is Bunnelby, Skyfield, Silent Lab. I don't know why I keep saying Skyfield against Silent Lab. And a Hammer. The Hammer is gonna be important here. We need to flip heads on the Hammer. And it would be nice to start off with our first, play down our Silent Lab, but my opponents managed to flip the coin, or managed to win the coin flip. Jesus Christ, I can't talk for the life of me here today. Alright, there's the Trainer's Mail. Let's focus on what my opponent is doing, and let's not focus on my rambling. Trainer's Mail fails. That's pretty big. Can we maybe get end here? I don't want to discard 2 VS Seekers if I don't have to. Ooh, and there's end, yes, alright. Did start off with a bad hand here, it seems. And puts a DCE on a Shaman, which buys ourselves a turn actually. And we get an even worse hand. Level Ball. That N let us down completely. Oh my goodness. Why? Why do we find our energies and our VS Seekers? We only play 8 energies in this deck and only 4 VS Seekers. We play so many more supporters. We do see an energy on the Pawniards and a Fighting for Belt on the Shaman. There's a level wall. Fantastic. Alright, let's grab ourselves a Koffing. Unfortunately, we cannot use the division attack to find more Koffings at this point. I will attempt my hammer here. It is a Tails, of course it is a Tails. We will put this on our Bunnelby and we will start burrowing my opponent. Burrow for a Lysandre, burrow for something else, an Ultra Ball. Alright, fantastic. Please end us again. Would be very happy if you could end us again. There's Bisharp. Lysandre Bisharp is not going to be very useful for us. Skyfield. And an N again. Fantastic. Please give us a little bit of a better hand here. Come on, TCGO. Don't let me down. And fantastic. Much better. Alright. We have Ace Trainer. So if our Bunnelby goes down, we can use the Ace Trainer. Bunnelby will go down in the next turn. There's an energy on the Xerneas. I am expecting to see many more Pokemon on my opponent's bench. Hopefully he does that. Hopefully he overbenches a little bit here. And then we can Lysandre those Pokemon at some point. I think in my turn I will just go for the Team Rocket's Handiwork. What does he promote? Probably the Xerneas, to be honest. Yes, there is the Xerneas. Alright. We will evolve into our Weezing. There's another Weezing. I'm gonna keep the Enhanced Hammer. Will I Ultra Ball? I could Ultra Ball away the Weezing and the Ace Trainer. Then we have a VS Seeker for an Ace Trainer in the next turn, and I think I will do that. I'm gonna grab myself a Remoraid. We need that Remoraid right now. If only the Ultra Ball was a level ball, but at least we have the option here to get out Remoraid. Then we will Team Rocket's Handiwork. Hopefully we don't see a Delinquent in my opponent's turn. Team Rocket's Handiwork, discard some cards, a Tails and another Tails. It is, I have never, oh no, it's so frustrating. This is like the 3rd time in a row I'm flipping 2 Tails on a Team Rocket's Handiwork. I might have cut out the previous games, I don't know if I will include them in the recording. But yes, I did flip Tails in those games as well. Like Darkrai Giratina game, we see a DCE there on the Xerneas, a Fighting for a Belt, and an Ultra Ball. Alright. We'll discard some more cards, that's good. Our Bunnelby will go down. At least we milled 4 cards with our Bunnelby, I'm happy with that. We will... Ooh, there's a... Fantastic, we see a Volcanion. Please no Floatstone on a Volcanion, so we can Lysandre that Volcanion later on in the game and get it stuck. That would be amazing. And a Shaman for 4 cards. He is going to draw through his deck here. He is doing it, he's helping us out, fantastic. Please play more down, or play down more Pokemon. There's Xerneas. And Rainbow Force for the kill. Can knock out our Weezing in the next turn as well, so we will need to find some more Koffings. We will need to find our Lysandre in the next turn as well. We need it very urgently. There is our Enhanced Hammer here for the discards. Alright, let's go for our Ace Trainer then. Reduce my opponent's huge hand size. Could have gone for the N, but I think Ace Trainer is the better choice here. Do we find our DCE? We find our DCE. We don't find another Koffing though. But we have our hammer here. If this hammer flips heads, we buy ourselves a turn. And it is heads. Amazing. Let's discard an energy. Let's put this here on the Weezing. Hopefully he's stuck with a bad hand that we can Delinquent his hand away in the next turn. Super Odds. Do I use my Super Rod right now? I don't think I will yet. I'll simply Balloon Bomb for a heads and a heads. Yes, oh my goodness. 2 heads. That's revenge for the 2 tails. Discarding an energy, discarding a Super Rod. Would have loved to see some DCEs get discarded there. Shuffles back. Oh my goodness, there's another Super Rod. He's playing 2 Super Rods. There's a Max Elixir. Max Elixir succeeds. Yeah, he's playing 2 Super Rods. Can he find a DCE this turn and a switch? There's an XP share and an energy on the active Xerneas. Alrighty. So he's left himself without a hand. A DCE for us. I could Hex Maniac. I could Delinquent. But I think I'll Sycamore my hand away. I'm going to Super Rod some things back into my deck and I'm going to Sycamore. We need to find more Pokemon to bench while my opponent has a bad hand. Might as well put his DCE on our Remoraid. So we can retreat our Octillery when or if we find it. And then it is time to Sycamore. We have plenty more Seekers to find those. Oh, and there's a Lysandre for the next turn on the Volcanion. That's gonna be impressive here. We didn't find another basic. We are missing out on our, and there's double tails again. We are missing out on our level balls and our ultra balls for sure here. Maybe lots of them are prized. Can you find something from the top deck? It doesn't seem like it, so we might just see a pass of the turn. Please tell me this is gonna be a pass of the turn. That's all we need here. A pass of the turn for our Weezing to stay alive. Then Lysandre out the Volcanion. And then Balloon Bomb again. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Does he have any? And he has a VS Seeker. What was he waiting for there? I have no idea. Why was he waiting to use that VS Seeker? Baffles me. And our hand gets reshuffled, so our Weezing is most likely going to go down here. We have a Silent Lab, alright. We have an Ultra Ball for a Koffing. No, that was not good. The N. The top deck though, that top deck from my opponent. Wow. At least he's down to 20 cards, so if we can set up some more Weezings, we have a chance at taking this game. There's a DCE, he has the DCE. I don't know why he's waiting so long if he has the DCE in hand. And a Rainbow Force for the kill on our Weezing. So that was a totally ridiculous, redonkulous turn from our opponents. That should not have happened in any way. Let's counter the stadium with our Silent Lab. Let's discard an energy, discard the Silent Lab, I think. Yes, we are going to grab ourselves Koffing. We will use our special charge so we can use our Octillery. We need to find a Lysandre at this turn. It's now or never here. Oh, what a roller coaster this game. We had the lockdown, but my opponent managed to get the top deck because our Weezing failed. Alright, another hammer. Let's see, can we flip heads on this hammer? And it's another head. Let's discard a DCE as well. Then let's go for the N here. Can we find anything? A Lysandre for the next turn. Alright. We have an energy for our Bunnelby, so I will retreat into my Bunnelby and mill a little bit more. I really want to keep the Octillery alive, so we'll simply attach to our Bunnelby. We will burrow one card and then burrow another card. Hopefully it's a DCE here, and it is a DCE. Amazing. Down goes the DCE and another DCE. No, just a Shaman. But at least there's one more DCE in the discard pile. Maybe his last DCE is prized, so then he needs to find a special charge here if he wants to attack us. So we are going to Lysandre the next turn. We are going to put an energy on our Koffing. We will... Ooh, there's a Mew. And that is it. I don't think we can do anything. We'll use the Abyssal Hand. Yes, we will do that. Maybe find ourselves a VS Seeker for Team Rocket's handiwork. Yes, we could do that. Or for a Delinquent if he leaves himself with 3 cards in hand. Always good to do that. And maybe another hammer, you never know. Do we have our enhanced hammer still? We don't. So we flip 2 heads on the crushing hammer so far. And then we flip lots of tails on our balloon bomb. So it's evening out a little bit there. Our luck leaves himself with 3 cards in hand. We can Delinquent. And a Lysandre on our Koffing. Alright. I'm fine with that. We can Division for another Koffing because we have an energy in hand to attach to our Koffing. An energy on the Xerneas. And then we will see a pause of the turn. Fantastic stuff. Let's put the energy on the Koffing. Let's Lysandre the Volcanion. Then let's Abyssal Hand for 2 more cards. Could have discarded those 2, but we already discarded our Super Rod, so I kind of want to keep my energies. VS Seeker for a Delinquent is what I'm going to go for here. Yes, no, maybe, yes. And then we will use the Division. Let's Delinquent that 1 card out of my opponent's hand here. Hopefully it's something good. Oh, we cannot do that because I Lysandred. I completely forgot. Well, herp. At least we have a Delinquent for the next turn. Let's hope my opponent is stuck with a little bit of a bad hand. So there's our Koffing. Can we stay alive? If we stay alive right here, we have a decent shot at taking this game. A Trainer's Mail. Tom decked that Trainer's Mail most likely. for a special charge. Is going to shuffle back those DCEs. Please tell me he does not have a supporter in hands. So now we need to discard those DCEs again. And a VS Seeker for another N. Are you kidding me? He's got another VS Seeker. Oh my goodness. His stomp decks are real. So if we win this game, I'm gonna be so happy. Please, no Floatstone, no switch, no nothing. Yes, alright, we buy ourselves a turn and we have another hammer here. Here's our Weezing. Go Weezing. Then we will try to Crushing Hammer away the energy. It is a Tails, alright. Can't be lucky all the time here, I guess. Let's attach our DCE and let's go for the Balloon Bomb. I could use my VS Seeker to grab a Delinquent here, and I think I will do that right now. It is time to Delinquent for sure. Oh, the Delinquent is back in my deck because I VS Seekered it last turn. No, well, let's grab ourselves Team Rocket's Handiwork. That was a misplay there last turn, and now we cannot use our Delinquent because of that. Please, come on, 2 heads, Tails, and another Tails. No, no, no. Bad Tails, bad Tails. There's our Octillery and an Ultra Ball. Balloon Bomb for heads and heads. Alright. Discarding 4 cards. No DCE in the discard pile there. He's down to 10 cards right now. All we need to do is flip 1 more or 2 more heads with our Weezing, and then discard 2 more with our Bunnelby and flip 2 more heads on Team Rocket's Handiwork. Sycamore, oh my goodness, yes, we have the game. His Sycamore's his hand away. We can take him out in the next turn with our Bunnelby, and there's a concede. Oh my goodness, we took the game after all, despite so many tails. What a roller coaster, what a rough battle for us, but we managed it. I don't know how, I don't know. I really don't know how we managed to pull that off. That is insane. Weezing for the win here. Wow. No MVP, 6 heads, 8 tails. So a little bit, just a little bit on the unlucky side. I might have been a little bit biased there, but the Team Rocket's Handiworks, I think that is where we have all the tails from, and all the heads were from our balloon bombs, I think. Alright, let's find ourselves, no, and from our Crushing Hammers as well, I think. Let's find ourselves another opponent. Relative Space T is calling the coin flip here with his Xerneas coin. We won the coin flip, amazing stuff. Let's go first. Let's see if we can start off with one of our Koffings. This might be a Xerneas Rainbow Force deck. Ooh, this is actually an interesting starting hand. I like this a lot. We have a Remoraid, we have our Weezings for the next turn. We have another Level Ball for another Koffing. And we have Delinquent for if my opponent plays down the stadium. Ooh, and an Enhanced Hammer straight away. Let's hope my opponent attaches a DCE here in his first turn. That will be amazing if he does that. We will just simply pass our turn here. There's no need for us to do anything else. In the next turn we can Abyssal Hand, maybe find a draw supporter, or maybe just go for the Delinquent. An energy, basic energy on the Xerneas. That's not a DCE. There's another Xerneas. And no, our amazing hands. Oh, it's gone forever, never to be found, unless we draw exactly the same hand plus 1 extra card. There's the Octillery. Oh my goodness, this is an even better hand. Wow. Discards Lysandre, discards Fairy Energy. I think this might be Mega Gardevoir actually. Mega Gardevoir with Xerneas. There's a Hoopa, yes it is. Alright, it's not Xerneas Rainbow Force. Would have loved to see a Rainbow Force because we can then discard those DCEs and stuff, but discarding energies for a Mega Gardevoir deck, that's a little bit more difficult because my opponent can accelerate tons of energies. So I might just have to go for a Lysandre on the Hoopa at some point. Or just hope that my opponent draws to his deck a lot. Gardevoir, and a Mega Gardevoir. Alright, so he's down to 40 cards already. He's helping us out a little bit here. Then a Spirit Link, and he has the Mega Gardevoir for the next turn. Geomancy. I think we will encounter some very early knockouts here from the Gardevoirs. Very soon. Time to Crushing Hammer. Can we flip heads on the Crushing Hammer? It is a Tails, alright. Let's put the Floatstone on our Remoraid. Let's evolve into our Octillery. Let's put the DCE on our Koffing. Then let's Level Ball. Come on, Level Ball for Bunnelby. We are out of Koffings, it seems. 2 Koffings are prized. That is not good. Let's Level Ball again for another Bunnelby. And then let's use our Abyssal Hand to draw into a couple more cards here. What can we find? Silent Lab, Weezing. Weezing is good, but we don't really find anything else. So let's play down our Silent Lab. Let's go for the Balloon Bomb for Tails and another Tails. So we are off to a fantastic start here. 2 Tails, 3 Tails actually, and Tails on the Hammer. There's the Mega Gardevoir, Counter Stadium, alright. And the Sycamore, fantastic. Sycamore is good. This guy's not a Mega Gardevoir. He has a Lysandre in this card pile, we do not. Maybe I should have Floatstone my Weezing and just went with the Burrow for a guaranteed mill. There's Drainage Mail. We could see my opponents attack us for 1, 2, 3, 4, 80 with a Max Elixirs, 100 with another Max Elixir, that is 120. That would be a knockout if he Max Elixirs twice and attaches an energy. There's Spirit Link. Down to 29 cards right now. And a Mega Thermal onto the Mega Gardevoir. And a Geomancer. Alright, we don't see a retreat, that's good. Could have knocked us out here if he would have attached an energy from his hand to the Mega Gardevoir and retreated. And that might definitely happen in the next turn. So we need to counter the stadium here. And let's put the energy on our Bunnelby. Let's go for the Abyssal Hand. Draw into 2 more cards first of all. What can we find? An Enhanced Hammer. Completely useless. We need to find regular hammers here. And a Lysandre. Lysandre for the next turn. That's good. I like that a lot. So let's evolve into our Weezing. And then let's go for the Balloon Bomb once again. A Heads and a Tails. Alright, at least we discard 2 cards here. Discard Fairy Garden, discarding a Sycamore. That's good. We will promote our Bunnelby. We will Lysandre the Hoopa. Hopefully he does not have a Floatstone in hand or anything like that. Or maybe we should just Ace Trainer maybe. And sacrifice the Bunnelby. But we have so little Koffings. That might be the problem here for us. Discards a Shaman, discards another Fairy Garden, so we can win the Stadium War right now, because my opponent already discarded 2 stadiums. Might have only 1 more stadium left, and we have 2 more stadiums left, so we can counter stadium, he can counter back, and then we can counter for the final counter stadium. There's another Mega Gardevoir, he's down to 21 cards now, an energy on the break, 1, 2, that's a knockout for 140 damage here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yes, 140. We'll promote our Bunnelby. Will we go for the Lysandre or not? I wonder. I think we'll do it. Let's go for the Lysandre here. Might as well. I'll use my special charge here, shuffle back the DCE. We will go for the Abyssal Hand for 2 more cards. Maybe we can find a Hammer. Discard an energy to a Mega Gardevoir or something. A DCE there for our Weezing on the bench. A Floatstone, which is not really necessary. Burrow for 1 more card. Come on, Burrow. A Lysandre. Alright. And Burrow for another card. A Parallel City. Did have a Parallel City in addition to his Fairy Gardens. Does he have or does he not have a Floatstone? If he does not, will he Sycamore or will he end to find a Floatstone? Oh, he could just find an energy, actually, I forgot. And there's the end, he might just find himself an energy right here to retreat the Hoopa. Kind of forgot about the Fairy Garden there, that's my bad. But we might find a counter stadium right here, and then a Seeker for a Lysandre again. There's the Hammer, there's the energy, alright. But no counter stadium, we could Delinquent. Live stream for the kill on our Bunnelby. Bummer. We will promote our other Bunnelby. We will try to hammer away 1 energy. Yes, alrighty. It is another Tails. Blooming hell. That's that is not good. Well, let's see. What do? We really need to find a counter stadium. Or we can simply Delinquent. And then Lysandre in the next turn. I'm gonna discard my Hex Maniac and my N. We don't have any use for those cards. We are going to not grab anything. We will first of all Delinquent here, and then we can Octillery for Abyssal Hand for 3 cards. Hopefully find our Super Odds. That is what I'm after here. So what will my opponent discard? Alright, did discard the Sycamore there. Then it is time to go for the Abyssal Hand. So what can we find from the Abyssal Hand? A DCE, a Floatstone. Alright, so we have an attacker for the next turn, but we didn't find our Super Rod. Let's burrow. Let's burrow once for an energy. Yes, alright. And then let's burrow a Super Rod or something. Trainer's Mail. We haven't seen a Super Rod yet. That kind of worries me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 energies in play. And then 1 energy in the discard pile, I think. We will go for the Lysandre right here. We need to Lysandre at this moment. Enhanced Hammer. Let's put the Floatstone on the Weezing. Let's Seeker for the Lysandre. Can we find our Super Rod? We need to find our Super Rod and a level ball right here, right now. Would have been nice to Delinquent again, discard everything from his hand while the Hoopa is stuck in the active spot. But we cannot do both in the same turn. And we find 2 Team Rockets anywhere. There's a Tails and there is a Heads. A Seeker and a Max Elixir in the discard pile. Alright, does he have the energy? Please tell me he does not have the energy. If we can flip 2 hands on our Team Rocket's handiwork, we might still be able to take this game. Slowly but surely, we are edging our way to the deck out here. An N for 3 cards. He should be quite lucky here to find an energy from the N. Or he would be quite lucky. And does he have it? Yes, he has the energy. Oh my goodness, no. No. Well, we can Lysandre again. And we can Team Rocket's handiwork. I think that's our best bet. Lysandre once more. We don't have our Super Rod here anyways, so it is now or never. Crushing Hammer, alright, let's discard nothing. Crushing Hammers are letting us down big time. We'll discard our Weezing, we'll discard, maybe actually let's discard the Enhanced Hammer and the Sycamore. What can we grab? Nothing. And then it is time to Seeker for the Lysandre once again. We need to stall a little bit here. One more turn and we then still have a chance. We know we have our Team Rocket's handiwork in the deck. So Abyssal Entities, come on Super Rods, reveal yourselves to us. And there's nothing there. Silent Lab. Might as well play it down so we can Delinquent. And then let's end our turn. In the next turn, will we judge? No, we will not judge, I think. A Trainer's Mail. Please do not find an Escape Rope or a Switch. Or a Fairy Garden even, and an energy. There's Fairy Garden. Does he have the energy? Now I regret playing down my stadium. Mega Turbo onto the Gardevoir. And a Sycamore. Alright. If he finds an energy here, it is GG. If not, we might be able to take him out with just 1 Team Rocket's handiwork. That's all we need to top deck here. There's a Super Rod. Does he have a Professor's Letter? Maybe. And this is going to be it here. Can we find ourselves our Team Rocket's handiwork? That's all we need here this turn to possibly take the game. Shuffles back 2 energies and a Xerneas. Not sure why he shuffles back the Xerneas. And then we'll see a pass of the turn. Yes. Oh no, now we can't. Now our Team Rocket's handiwork is not enough. Well, it is if we can discard the energies. There's an Ultra Ball. Discarding Max Elixir and a Max Elixir. Is going to grab the Xerneas, I think, from his deck. So if we flip 2 heads on the Team Rocket's handiwork, we can deck him out. Is he going to grab the Xerneas? No, he leaves it in a deck. But we know it is in his deck here. And there's a Shaman for 4 more cards. He can find the energy here. There's no way he does not find it. And that is it. It is GG. We lose the game because one of our Koffings was prized. This was a very, very close game. This could have gone either way for sure. Just a little bit unlucky there near the end here, because we couldn't or we didn't manage to find our Super Rod anymore. But my goodness, that could have been a win right there for us. 7 tails flipped. Oh, I'm gonna rip my hair out here. I'm gonna rip my hair out here. That is insane. That is really bad luck for us. One of these tails could have decided the game. If one of those tails was a heads, my opponent would have -1 card left in his deck from that Shaman, and that would have been a win right there. Anyways, let's stop talking about the past. Let's move into the future and find ourselves another opponent. Proto Man challenges to battle with a Metal and a Psychic deck. No Shamans in my opponent's deck. I'm not sure how that is going to go for us. Hopefully he does draw very well through his deck here. Proto Man is choosing who goes first. Probably will go first himself, which means we need to wait at least 1 turn to set up here. Oh, before we can go for the Balloon Bomb. We start off with a nice hand, but we don't have a basic. If only that Seeker was a basic Pokemon, that would have been a fantastic starting hand here for us. But alas, it is not. And another mulligan, which actually was not too bad of hand either, but we mulliganed once more. There are some Koffings. We have an Ultra Ball. Not the best of hand here. We can maybe Ultra Ball away our Stadium and a Seeker for a Remoraid, and then Ultra Ball in the next turn for an Octillery. That is something we could do, but I really want to see an N or a Sycamore here from the top deck, or maybe an N from my opponent in his first turn. That would be nice as well. So what is my opponent playing himself? Maybe a Lucario or something. Grabs 2 cards from the mulligans. Alright, plays down another basic. Scizor with Mew. So Scizor without Shaman. Well, we are up against a slow variant of Scizor. Would love to see the faster variant, honestly. But maybe, just maybe, we can sneak a win here. The problem with Scizor is that it plays lots of switching cards most of the time, so Lysandre is not going to be too helpful for us here, I think. Unless we can discard those switching cards. Will we maybe just see a pass of the turn from our opponent energy on the Scizor? And a Cobalion pass of the turn. Oh my goodness. A super slow start here from our opponent. That is not what we wanted to see. Let's go for the Crushing Hammer. Yes, it is heads. Alright, let's discard our Silent Lab. Let's discard our Seeker. We are going to grab ourselves our Remoraid. Yes, we have one Remoraid. One Remoraid is prized. And then we will pass the turn to my opponent here. We will discard the Floodstone and whatever else we top deck in the next turn to find ourselves our Octillery. At least we should be safe for now here, thanks to the heads flip on the hammer. But my opponent needs to use an N here or something, because we don't want to discard 43 cards from his deck all by ourselves. He needs to help us out at least a little bit. Can you do that, Brutal Man? Come on. Don't let us down here. A few moments later. An energy on the Scizor, alright. I'm not sure why he was thinking that through so much. And the Sycamore, alright. Maybe it was just AFK or something. Discards 4 energies there, that is good. He was stuck with a pretty bad hand. Trainer's Mail for maybe a Spirit Link. Although I don't think he is playing the Mega Scizor. I think he's just going for the Gale Thrust attack, which can do 110 damage, so that's a 1-hit kill on our Weezings. And will we see a pass for the turn here? We need to find another Crushing Hammer and flip another heads. There is the Mega Scizor actually. He does play Mega Scizor after all. But what do we find? An N. Well, do I go for the N? Or for the Octillery? I'm going to go for the N. I'm gonna put the Floatstone on my Remoraid, and we will end here. We find a Crushing Hammer, amazing, a DCE, and we can grab our Weezing as well, I think. So let's Crushing Hammer. It is another heads, amazing. Alright, let's discard the DCE, let's discard, or maybe let's grab ourselves our Octillery instead here. Let's discard both DCEs. Yes, we will grab an Octillery, and then we are going to use our special charge here, shuffle back the DCEs. We might just attach to our Koffing and then not go with the Weezing here, so we can draw 5 cards here from the Octillery. We are fine for now here. We don't really we are not really under any pressure. So Octillery it is, Abyssal Hand for 5 cards, another Crushing Hammer. There's our Weezing, which I will evolve to onto my bench here, maybe not. I'll play down my Bunnelby and I'll simply go for the Division attack, put some more Koffings on my bench. In the next turn we can attack with the Balloon Bomb for probably or hopefully at least one heads, discard 2 cards from our opponent's deck. And we can start using our Octillery here as well. So we are set up now. All we need to do now is hopefully slow down my opponent a little bit. 5 energies in the discard pile, that is very helpful already. Magiana, Scizor, and Mega Scizor. Does that mean he's going to play down Skyfield? Why else did he grab Magiana, I wonder? Or maybe not, maybe he's not going to play down Skyfield. An energy on the Mega Scizor. Can we flip another heads? And that would be ridiculous if we could. And there is another Mega Scizor for the pass of the turn. Would love to find a Lysandre to the Lysandre out to Hoopa. We find an Enhanced Hammer. Enhanced Hammer is not so useful, and it's another heads. Can you believe it? We will evolve into our Weezing here. We will attach another energy. Yes. Then we will use the Abyssal Hand from the Octillery. Try to find a Lysandre to Lysandre out to Hoopa. And there is the Lysandre. We also have a Sycamore. Alright, well, I guess no one has ever told me that, so we can even knock out the Hoopa at the next turn if we want to, because we can hit for the Thick Liquid for 160 plus 10 from the poison is 170, and I will say no, that's the truth. And the Sycamore, actually maybe I lied. Someone did. Actually, someone did. Someone like him on the PTCGO. What do we see? And Parallel City. We'll discard Bunnelby. We will discard Koffing here. We should be able to find our Super Rod at some point. And a Counter Stadium as well. There's an energy on the Scizor. He does have another energy in hand. So let's hope we can discard his Super Rod before he finds it, so he cannot shuffle back these energies, and a pause onto our turn. Alrighty. We'll put the DCE on our Koffing on the bench. We will Floatstone our active Weezing, and we will Sycamore our hand away. Could have gone for the Abyssal Hand first, but I feel like Sycamoring here. Another Weezing, alright, and a Super Rod. That is good. I will leave it in my hand for now though. We will simply go for the Balloon Bomb once again. Come on, Balloon Bomb. It is a heads and a tails. Alright, at least we discard 2 cards here, and Sycamore and an N. That is 4 Sycamores and 1 N in the discard pile, as well as 2 VS Seekers. That is fantastic. Can our opponent find a Floatstone? Can he find an energy for the Mega Scizor? Those are the big questions. He's down to 19 cards, so we have a really good chance at taking this game here. All we need to do is flip a couple more heads and find ourselves a Team Rocket's handiwork maybe. That is a Sycamore. Is going to discard. What did he discard? Max Alex here. An energy on the Scizor. Discard an Escape Rope as well, I think. Or that was at the start of the game actually. We see a Trainer's Mail for a switch. Alright, there's a switch into the Mega Scizor. We will Lysandre out the Hoopa again. So down goes our Weezing. Discards the Parallel City. Not sure why he did that. I am pretty sure he can choose not to discard it, but he decided to discard it, and we will now use our Super Rod. Now is the time. So let's use that Super Rod. Let's grab ourselves Weezing, Koffing, and an energy. Yes, alright, let's go for that. Then let's level ball for a Bunnelby, and then let's level ball for another Koffing. We will put an energy on the Bunnelby here. We have more DCEs in our deck, so we will save the basic energies for our Bunnelbys. Here's the Koffing, and there we do see the Team Rocket's handiwork. We have it in our deck. We simply cannot draw into it yet. Time to Lysandre. Then time to discard more cards with our Weezing after we use the Abyssal Hand for a couple more cards. We might find our last Crushing Hammer. We don't. We do find a Silent Lab. Will I play that down? I think I will. So we could Delinquent at some point. Balloon Bomb for a heads and another heads. Amazing. Only 5 more cards to discard here. We discarded a Metal Energy. That is probably one of his last Metal Energies. Did we discard the switch as well? Yes, we discarded one of his switches as well. So there is one less switch he can use. Can he still take this game? I think we've basically got it in a bag here right now. All we need to do is mill with our Bunnelby once, and then flip a heads, 2 heads on a Team Rocket's handiwork. There's another switch. He's down to 5 cards now. A switch back into the Mega Scizor. We will promote our Octillery while we look for... Ooh, and there's a Parallel City. He's going to discard his Hoopa. No Parallel City to our side here. Well, at least not to reduce our bench. Will he discard something else? We could Lysandre the Mega Scizor on the bench. I think he should be running out of switching cards here at some point. This guy's a Cobalion. I think that was indeed his best choice. Discard both the Hoopa and the Cobalion. There's a VS Seeker for an N. Is he really going to N? Bring himself down to 4 cards? That means we can take the game if we flip 2 heads in the next turn. on a Team Rocket's Anywhere, or if we can flip one Hex on it and then use our Bunnelby to mill him, to deck him out with our Burrow, and I think that should be possible. He did find another energy there from Mega Turbo maybe. Oh no, from his hand I think. We will promote our Octillery here. We will first counter the stadium maybe. Delinquent is interesting. But I think we are going to try to take the game right here. Let's go for the Team Rockets Anywhere. Can flip two heads. A heads and a tails. That's it. We win the game against Mega Scizor. And I think that is not a very nice word either. And there it is, the conceit from my opponents. Alrighty, well, kiss back to you. Lots of loving going around here, lots of kisses. Mega Scizor eventually here lost to our Weezing deck, but that's definitely thanks to the heads on the hammers. I cannot thank those hammers enough. Those hammers, they gave us the game here for sure. 7 heads flipped, 5 tails flipped. That makes up for any bad luck in any previous games. Alright, let's find ourselves one more opponent. GR Oslan or G Roslan challenges to battle with a colorless Psychic and Metal deck. This could be Mega Scizor, this could be Mega Mewtwo, this could be Mega Rayquaza. It could be a lot of things, but it's probably a meta deck, that is for sure. We start off with our Koffing, we start off with the hammer with an N. I'll probably...
Karp, 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 Karp.